Hey, what's up, Coin Fam? In today's video, we're talking about a rare and not very well-known penny. You might have something like this sitting in a coin jar or a piggy bank right now. Make sure you stick around until the end for important tips that can help you identify this rare coin. This is a Proof 1970S Lincoln cent. The S means this penny was minted at the San Francisco Mint. There are two different varieties of the 1970S penny. There's the large date version, like the one you see here. In mint state 67 condition, this penny could be worth about $2,000. And there's the small date version, like this one right here. This 1970S small date Lincoln cent sold for almost $20,000. See the difference between the two? It's not easy to tell them apart, is it? But we're going to teach you how to shortly. The San Francisco Mint produced both proof coins and business strike coins with the S Mint mark. The small date variety can be found for both strikes. We don't know exactly why there was a large and a small date variety. The small date variety was being discovered early in the 1970s, so I'm guessing there must have been a design change very early in the year. PCGS estimates the small S variety is between 10 to 15% of the total mintage. If that's the case, these should be relatively easy to find, but collectors have been searching for this variety for decades. The difference between the large date and the small date will be really difficult to tell with the naked eye. If you're a coin collector or coin roll hunter, you should have some kind of magnifying device. You don't need anything fancy or expensive. A good 5 to 10 magnification loupe or magnifier should do the job. If you have a little extra money to spend, you can look into getting a coin microscope. Check out the link in the video description for some low to high cost recommendations. Some coin collectors may tell you that the word Liberty on the large date 1970S will be more crisp than the small date variety. You may even hear that the T in the word Liberty will be faded on the small date 1970S. This might be a visual indicator of the two varieties, but it's not 100%. It just leads to confusion. Here's what you want to look for though. Remember the high 7 and the low 7. Take a look at the date. You want to focus in on the 9, the 7, and the 0, and how they all relate to each other. The large date variety is called the low 7. This means the top of the 7 will be lower than the top of the 9 and the 0. The high 7 is the small date that we're looking for. On the high date, the top of the 7 is even with the top of the 9 and the top of the 0. Here are a couple of large dates I pulled from my collection. I don't have a small date comparison, but we can look at a picture. This is the large date with the low 7. It should be pretty obvious under magnification. If you have one of the better microscopes, you might have the ability to use the graphic tools to help figure this kind of thing out. Here you see I drew a line with my microscope from the top of the 9 to the top of the 0. You can see the 7 is lower than the other two numbers. This is the large date variety, and it's not worth that much. Here's a picture of the small date variety. If you put a line from the top of the 9 to the top of the 0, like we did with the large date, you can clearly see the top of the high 7 is even with the other two numbers. If you find one of these, the condition of the coin will determine how much it's worth. Don't get rid of your 1970S large date pennies before you look for another rare variety that I'll be discussing in an upcoming video. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching.